things that I want to share with you today that have really helped me and that I think are really critical in being able to sell yourself as a potential candidate for a job. And so the first thing I want to talk about is knowing how to market yourself. So I come from a marketing background, and everything that I do and think about tends to come from that framework. So from a marketing framework, one of the questions that I ask myself and that I ask those that I've helped in preparing for job interviews is, can you tell me in one sentence, or can you tell the future employer in one sentence, why they should hire you? And if you don't know in one sentence why they should hire you specifically, then you really need to go home and think about it. Because everything that you do, from your resume to the way you answer your questions in the interviews, to the way you present yourself, comes down to understanding why they should hire you. And there's confidence that comes out of that. In terms of learning how to market yourself and how to know why they should hire you, some of the things to think about are what your positioning is. We talked a lot about positioning in our marketing class this semester, and understanding what your positioning is and what makes you unique is critical. So for myself, my unique positioning is that I'm passionate about brand management. That may be really simple and maybe not even that exciting, but to me it is. And once you have your positioning, you have to follow it up with reasons to believe. So it's not enough for me just to say I'm passionate about brand management. Every other student can come up and say the same thing. But the reasons to believe that I have are unique, and that would be, for me personally, is that I have 6 years of experience already in brand management. And so I've already done it before. And that I moved up in a company very quickly and had a lot of responsibility over different products. And that's just me, and I'm not, I share that because I just know more about myself, which is another example. But everyone has that. You have your ability to have your positioning, and then what are your reasons to believe, what are the reasons to believe behind that? Another point in marketing that I think goes along with this is this idea of points of parity and points of differentiation. And this to me is critical. Points of parity are the things that you are similar to with everybody else who wants the same job. It's important that you have points of parity. Just like if you were to market a product, if you were trying to sell shampoo, for example, points of parity is that it's gotta clean your hair. If you're gonna be in the shampoo category, it's gotta clean your hair. And maybe a point of parity that it's gotta have a great fragrance. It can't smell bad, or nobody's gonna use it. In terms of MBA students, a point of parity that we have at BYU is that we are MBAs, and that we're MBAs from a top school. And those are things that are critical for someone even looking at us, but that are things that we need to make sure that everyone knows and that they're aware of. But points of parity kind of get you in the door, just like if you were to launch a shampoo, that might get you in the door to be in the category of a shampoo, but it doesn't get the shampoo purchased by the customer. Just like having a point of parity, just being at the MBA from a top school doesn't get us in the door, or gets us in the door but doesn't get us a job. So points of differentiation are, to me, then what really sets you apart as an individual candidate, so that when you're against a bunch of other top school MBAs, you stand out. And those end up being much more personal and specific to your situation. So points of differentiation, if you were launching, again, a shampoo, maybe it's that your shampoo provides moisturizing beads that lock in the moisture so that your hair doesn't get dry, or that there's vitamin E, a specific type of vitamin E, right, that enables the hair to be stronger, or more protected, or whatever it happens to be. For me, my points of differentiation, again, have a lot to do with my experience. I have a lot more experience than most MBAs have, and that's just one area that I'm lucky in. But other points of differentiation you may have, maybe you have military experience, or maybe you, I don't know, whatever your job is, but there's things that make you different, and it's really capitalizing on those. Once you know that, then you're able to really talk more about yourself and stand out. So my second point, and my last point to share with you today, has to do with learning how to apply whatever your experience is to the job that you want. I was just this past weekend out in St. Louis with Nestle Purina, and it was a function where they invited all of the candidates that they had offered internships to come out and check out the company and meet with them, and we had a panel discussion. And one of the things that really stuck out to me, and that is to this point, is that they said, you guys, we didn't care what your experience was. So we didn't care. What we cared about is that you had the characteristics we were looking for. And one of the characteristics that they were looking for was the ability to be creative and analytical at the same time. That's a really big deal in CPG, having both of those skills. And they talked to us quite a bit about needing, and that in order to be successful in the internship, we would need to to demonstrate that we have both analytical as well as creative skills. And so it's learning what characteristics are important to the area you're looking for, and you can find those out if you haven't been in the field. You can find those out through people that have, doing informational interviews. You can look at them in terms of a lot of times the job descriptions will have some of those buzz terms in them, and then you can go explore what it really means. But when you start to understand what the characteristics are that they're looking for, then you can tailor your star stories to meet that characteristic. So who cares if you're trying to get marketing, you're not marketing? Who really cares? If they're looking for characteristics, and I truly believe that. I mean, experience helps, but I truly, truly believe that they're looking for characteristics. If you're then able to apply, one of the characteristics that's really important is that you can do cross-functional leadership. If you're able to apply whatever you did in your last job or in another situation where you had to work cross-functionally with different groups of people that didn't report to you, if you understand that that's important, you're able to tie that into your star stories. That makes sense? So anyways, those are my 2 thoughts. I think those really matter. So hopefully you'll pull something out of that that can help you.